going on, guys? It's Brett. I just wanted to check in with you. It's been about 24 hours since we left for Seattle. We're living on $1.25 a day, and it's going great. God has radically transformed my expectations, my opinions, and what I'm expecting to see out here. It's been crazy, the things that we've experienced in just, you know, a couple days out here. When we first got here, the first thing I did was make a sign, and it said, "Anything helps, God bless." So I got to experience sitting on the side of the street and just holding out a sign and seeing if people would help out. And it was interesting to be on the other side of the table and see that process that people go through of trying to ignore you and trying to act like you're not there. And I could relate with them, surprisingly, because I've been there, and you know, you try and make it the least awkward that you can make it without feeling like you're completely ignoring them. So they make a little eye contact, but then they just look away and continue walking. And probably the most interesting thing that happened during that time was I actually saw a guy that I knew, and it was definitely a God thing, because it was somebody that I hadn't seen for probably 3 or 4 years up until about 4 or 5 days ago. And we saw each other out with some friends and caught up, and it was one of those things where, you know, we were both glad to see each other and wanted to know what was going on in each other's lives. And then seeing him on the street pass by, he didn't even recognize me, he didn't even make eye contact, didn't even look. And that was an interesting and very humbling experience for me, just seeing somebody that I knew and realizing that because of the situation that I was in, or because of my appearance, I was completely stripped of my identity. Being the same person that I was 5 days ago, talking to this friend, you know, and being happy to see each other, and then, you know, yesterday, him not even noticing who I was, just being a completely different person. So that was really eye-opening to me, just seeing that the identity, and you really kind of lose your face, and some of the people out here don't have that face, don't have that identity to cling on to. And so I think that kind of heightened my awareness right away. Last night was amazing. We spent the night out on the streets and sleeping in Seattle, and roaming the streets and just seeing what downtown was all about, what homeless life was all about. And we were shocked. There was about a 20-hour stretch where I hadn't eaten, and I was getting pretty hungry. And 20 hours doesn't seem like a lot now looking back on it, but I think it's just because of all the walking that we do, and you get hungry pretty quick. And so we started digging through some trash last night, and dude, it was ridiculous, like how much food, uneaten food, was in the trash can. Like, we literally pulled out probably $15 to $20 worth of food. And stuff that wasn't even open, like pre-packaged, like, I mean, bags of chips, bags of cookies, juices, Gatorades, whole water bottles that hadn't even been touched. And there was some like sack lunches that you could tell weren't even touched. They were just packed up at home and then threw out exactly how they came. Like, nothing, the bag wasn't even open, and every single thing in the bag was still there. So that was crazy. And just seeing like how much we waste, like that food was like more food than you would even need in your pantry. Like, I'm a homeless person with $15 in my pocket for the next 2 weeks, and I was throwing away food that I had found. Like, that just kind of seemed backwards to me. And so I don't really know how to process that. I don't really know what to think about it, but definitely not what I expected at all. So spent the day today resting up. We're extremely tired. It's exhausting. Even just after 2 days, I can't imagine what it's going to be like in a couple weeks when we're done. But things are going well. God's doing big things. So thanks for following the journey, and we're glad to have you be part of what God's doing out here.